Welcome to the fifth and final module in the Clinical Faculty Pedagogical Knowledge for Undergraduate Medical Education program. This module will conclude the program with a review of the faculty development opportunities available at SUNY Upstate and the national organizations we rely on for content specific to our areas of medical practice. We will explore how faculty development has evolved from a behaviorist and cognitive approach to faculty education, where learning opportunities are designed, sequenced, and delivered by teaching experts in a social cognitive and social constructive approach. Faculty education on a higher level becomes an interactive and highly social process involving all stakeholders, from the newest learner to the highest ranked institutional officer, working together within a zone of proximal development model where all participants share and build on their knowledge and skills. This is a process that is highly developed in general education and K through 12 education, and one that is coming into its own in medical education. Here is a summary of the many opportunities and resources available at SUNY Upstate Medical University for teacher professional development. The best workshops are offered each academic year in the fall and the spring. The 4 workshops include delivery on effective presentation, provide effective feedback, create a positive learning environment, and actively engage the learner. Each of these workshops is designed to be engaging and relevant to teaching students, residents, and faculty colleagues. The program is appropriate for educators regardless of their teaching experience. New faculty of the College of Medicine are required to complete the program. Workshops are structured to include large group discussion, small group activities, and provide a variety of handout material. The program is designed to model evidence-based approaches to large and small group teaching. A link to the program on the SUNY Upstate website is provided in the Blackboard module for this program. The Academy of Upstate Educators inducted the first class of members in September of 2012. Members are selected in recognition of their backgrounds as exemplary educators. The purpose of the organization is to promote innovation and excellence in education at our institution. Members come from all 4 colleges of SUNY Upstate Medical University. These members are committed to activities that will enhance the educational environment at Upstate. These activities include serving as peer consultants for faculty who wish to enhance their teaching practice, learner assessment process, improve or change curriculum or course design, implementation, and evaluation, education-related issues experienced by administrative leaders. There are 17 members at the time of this presentation, March of 2020, with clinical and foundational science backgrounds and diverse teaching expertise. The Fearless Learner helps students achieve success by encouraging and building skills as lifelong learners. Effective learning comes from an environment and institutional culture that promotes openness, encourages empowerment, and creates a dynamic where teachers teach learners and learners teach teachers. This website page argues that the learners must be respected as contributing and inspired participants in their own learning and the learning of others. Upstate links this concept of the fearless learner with creating a positive learning environment with respect for all members of the Upstate learning community and an appreciation for diversity. Learners are broadly defined as all healthcare professionals at all levels of experience, from beginning students to highly experienced faculty. Members of the public are also included. Learners are encouraged to ask questions without fear. Learners are encouraged to be creative and take initiative in their education. A link to the SUNY Upstate website page for the Fearless Learner program is provided in the Blackboard module. The page includes a detailed description of what constitutes a positive learning environment and links to additional resources. This website page introduces each of the leaders of the institution and the individual colleges that make up Upstate Medical University. There are links to information and resources intended for new faculty, but may be of interest to experienced faculty as well. A link to the website page is included on the Blackboard module. Here is a list of clinical specialties that have national organizations that provide support specific to an area of clinical practice. I have included the Association of American Medical Colleges, or AAMC, as the AAMC provides a great deal of information regarding medical education. Again, links are provided to each of these organizations on the Blackboard page for this program in this module. Teacher professional development has been an interest in medical education research for decades. Professional development is intended to inspire change in teacher practice. Models to bring about teacher change date back to 1986 with Gutsky 2002. Gutsky and colleagues created a model that includes a sequence of events presented over time that provides professional development experiences to change teacher attitudes and perceptions. The model of teacher change begins with professional development that inspires teachers to change their classroom practices. If the new practices are indeed effective, then student learning outcomes will change due to the changes in teacher practice. The intended result is to change teachers' beliefs and attitudes. Once teachers see how the professional development activities have produced results that have changed measures of student learning outcome, then teachers will understand the value of professional development and how changes in classroom practice can improve student performance, as described by Gutsky in 2002. This research is carried out in general education and not medical education, but it's easy to imagine this model can function well in medical education. Dedicated clinical educators want their learners to succeed in their medical professional careers. Faculty professional development is a part of that goal. Darling-Hammond et al. In 2017 presented a meta-analysis of studies published over 30 years that met specific methodological criteria for inclusion on what constitutes effective professional development. Recommendations include the following. Number 1, identify and develop expert teachers that can act as mentors and coaches to support professional development. Number 2, establish new learning standards. Number 3, use student data to inform instruction. Number 4, create an inclusive positive learning environment. Number 5, provide flexible continuing education experiences that encourage and support sustained efforts in teaching collaboration, mentoring, and coaching. Darling-Hammond et al. And Gutsky share a commitment to faculty development designed to improve learner outcomes in the K through 12 and general education, spanning a 15-year time frame. These goals and recommendations presented are similar to medical education here at SUNY Upstate and in medical education nationally. Learning Forward 2011 addresses K through 12 education needs that include a public demand that educators provide the resources, materials, and experiences students require to succeed in all school years, regardless of the huge differences in demographic, economic, cultural, and technological resources that affect student learning. Learning Forward describes professional development as a program that delivers content to faculty with the expectation the content will be applied in a traditional top-down approach. This contrasts with Learning Forward's definition of professional learning. Rather than a top-down approach, professional learning is more of a more of an all hands on deck approach. The standards for professional learning defined by Learning Forward expect that the delivery of an educational program is a social undertaking where all stakeholders, not just faculty, manage expectations and share responsibility for the success or failure of their programs. Learning Forward defined learning communities that increase educator effectiveness for students when committed to continuous improvement, collective responsibility, and shared goals. Leadership is required from those who create, advocate, and support professional learning. Resources need to be prioritized, monitored, and coordinated in support of professional learning. Data must be collected and analyzed so stakeholders can plan, assess, and evaluate professional learning effectiveness. Learning designs integrates theories, research, and principles of learning to achieve intended outcomes. Implementation applies research findings on change and supports application of professional learning that results in long-term change. Outcomes places responsibility on all stakeholders to align student performance as a guide to design student curriculum objectives. Breich et al. In 2015 describes the continuous improvement cycle as a strategy to identify goals after analysis and understanding of an educational problem, model and plan an intervention, carry out the intervention, assess the effect of the intervention, and then rethink how effective the intervention was. Next, decide what of the intervention stays, what goes. Start again with what is next. Given that Breich borrowed improvement cycles from healthcare, using it for K through 12 and general education improvement, we should now feel free to take it back for medical education. This program is an example of clinical faculty professional development, but not professional learning. As an online asynchronous program, we are sharing content and are communicating with each other through the questionnaire and reflection activities, but we are not creating a formal learning community. We are not meeting any of the Learning Forward 2011 expectations for true professional learning. Has professional learning been undertaken at other institutions? Fine et al. In 2011 studied peer evaluation in lecture or small group teaching. The work of clinical educators is recognized as complex, hectic, and requires innovative teaching that is adaptive to the ever-changing clinical learning environment. The program described in this article is similar to the coaches consultation services available from the Academy of Upstate Educators. These programs do provide mentoring, coaching, and can form the core of a learning community as described in Learning Forward 2011. Singh et al. In 2013 argue that teachers' belief is the ability to teach, in other words, their teacher self-efficacy belief, directly influences how much of new content presented during faculty development is applied in their clinical teaching practices. The educational theoretical frame for this study comes directly from Bandura's social cognitive framework, while the longitudinal faculty development program developed, implemented, and evaluated at 3 sites around the world reflect an understanding of social constructivism. The program undertaken by Singh et al. Reflect many of the collective principles of professional learning described by Learning Forward in 2011. Professional learning appears to be an approach that is actively being pursued in medical education, faculty professional development. This module concludes this program and focuses on what you as a clinical educator can contribute as a member of the faculty of this institution. This program is an online version of a traditional teacher professional development program. I hope that you found your time spent in this program to have been worthwhile. If you feel more confident in your knowledge and skill, or your teacher's self-efficacy has improved as described in social cognitive theory, then I hope you will be more confident as a clinical educator working with your learners. Your increased confidence and increased participation will speak to your role as an educational leader in your department and at SUNY Upstate Medical University. I am sure your increased participation will be welcomed heartily by the education leadership in your department and in our institution. As you build confidence, pedagogical knowledge, and skills, I hope that you will continue to pursue leadership or administrative opportunities in your department and your institution related to education. SUNY Upstate Medical University's educational mission very much needs you and your contribution. As we conclude this module, I will ask you to reflect and share your insights about future directions you would like to see our institution take in teacher professional development and education after this program is done.